Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Lean on us.
We are here for you.
You matter.
You are not alone.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Not sure where to turn? The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there for you 24/7. Call or text 988 or chat at 988sc.org. Whether you're having an emergency or you know someone who needs support now, they can help you take the next step towards finding hope and healing.
There is hope. 988sc.org.
Start the mics. All right, so this is Matt.
And Amanda.
And we're here with Eric Ruiz of the Deep Woods Paranormal. We're going to talk to him about some of his encounters that he's had and what got him into the paranormal. So go ahead, Eric, and tell us your stories.
So, like you said, my name's Eric Ruiz. I guess my first real paranormal experience was probably at 12, maybe 13. And I was outside playing basketball with my brother Jason. And it's getting late, you know, you can start seeing the stars coming out, the moon's coming out, and our little garage light came on, and I'm going, you know, pulled out back for a long jump shot, whatever, and I see this meteor in the sky. I've always known that a meteor has a tail. Meteor's got long tail on it, that's how you know it's a meteor. And I see this, I guess, football-shaped object in the sky, and it's got a layer around it that's a color, and another layer with a color, and each layer and color added to the tail, and it was beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm watching it go across the sky, and I'm like, Jake, check out this meteor, because my friend had always talked about, like, Halley's Comet, or whatever. Anyways, so maybe I thought it was a comet. Anyways, not important. It's going across the sky, and I'm watching it, and it stops, and shoots back at the angle it was coming from, at like a 45-degree angle. And I was like, oh, like that's not normal at all. So that's when I knew at that point that wasn't something we had, something of our earth, something that should be seen by everybody. You know, that's kind of what got me into, I guess, otherworldly experiences. Got me into investigating things that aren't normally around us. And, you know, I looked around my hometown, and I'm from a little place called Denton, Texas. And we've got Bruce Hall, which is in University of North Texas, has a couple of ghosts in it. There's a girl, I guess, in the 50s that when it wasn't okay to be pregnant out of wedlock, went up and hung herself in one of the, I guess, the attic of it, or one of the top floors, and supposedly now she haunts the area, or haunts the building. And there's a pool table aptly named after her, which I can't remember the name of the pool table at the moment, but the pool table is named after her, and supposedly, I've never tested this because I didn't go to UNT, but supposedly a man playing a woman cannot win on that table. The man will never win against a woman. There's two men, no big deal. Two women, no big deal. But if a man plays a woman, the man will not win on that table because she intervenes every time. I've heard stories from all of my friends that have gone there. I've heard stories from countless people over the years, and something that intrigues me, but it's not something I ever investigated myself. We also have this little place called Goatman's Bridge. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it, but it's one of the more haunted places in the nation. It's definitely one of the most haunted bridges in the nation. I remember as a kid hearing stories about Goatman's Bridge. I mean, everything from satanic, devil worshiping, to pets being sacrificed and hung off the edge, and everything that you could imagine evil going on at this bridge. It's also called Old Alton Bridge, but it's filled with so much evil power that I was afraid to go there. And even the few times I've been during the day, I've been at night, I've taken pictures. I've never seen anything, but that doesn't mean that it's not there to other people. I'm not sensitive. I'm super skeptical. I'm always of the mind that let me see if I can disprove what's going on. And that way, whatever's left unproven, that gives me something to go on. That gives me something to keep chasing and keep looking at, because I don't have an explanation for it. And that's what I love. You know, I mean, I'm a medic by trade, a medic by heart, and I can prove most things scientifically, but when I can't, it completely enthralls me, and it keeps me going every day. But, so we have Goatman's Bridge, and like I said, stories for years about this place, and I know there have been TV shows about it, there have been tons of people that have done Goatman's Bridge, and all of them find something. So, I mean, that's one of the cool things about being where I'm from, is there's a whole bunch of little ghost stories and I guess tales or folklores or whatever you want to call it that have driven my interest in the paranormal over the years. So when I was 22 and joined the military, went through basic gas station in San Antonio, and San Antonio being the home of the Alamo, you've got, what was it, I think 190 Texans and like 1,200 Mexicans that died just in San Antonio. Like, the place is super haunted. It's crazy. And I didn't believe how much activity was around there until I had one of my best friends that I met there, who's a native of San Antonio, show me all the places that are haunted. Like, we went to this place called Midget Mansion, and you just have to look it up. I can't really explain it. It's like a servant's quarters for little people. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's how it was described to me, and that's what it looks like. It looks like a playhouse in the back, but that's how it was described to me. They ended up tearing it down. It's now Home Depot, I think. You've got the Alamo, which is, of course, it's crazy haunted. I mean, you can go in there and just feel the energy. There's positive energy in some places, there's negative energy in other places, but when you have spirits that never found homes to rest in, never got to be sent back to their families, and never got to, I guess, experience a peaceful burial, like, their spirits are just wandering aimlessly in around the missions. And you can go on full moon nights, you can go on Halloween, when energy is just crazy powerful, and you can witness. I mean, I haven't seen apparitions, but I've seen, I mean, things that I can't explain, I guess, like shadows. You can feel people touching you. You can feel people, you can feel something brushing up against you. You feel like you're being moved along, I guess. Herded, I guess, would be another word. Like, you're in one place and you feel people push you, but I guess with the hustle and bustle of, you know, these Texans trying to fight for their freedom from the Mexicans, it's in a small place, you're going to get pushed around. Yeah. You feel it, even now, you feel it constantly just there. There's a place my friend took me called the Chinese Graveyard. I believe it's off Zamora, but like right off 410. You people from San Antonio know what I'm talking about. But you go there and you flash your lights like 5 times. Like, you go and you kill your car and it's a big whatever. You flash your lights, but when you start seeing reflections, like, it makes you think, oh dude, what did I get into? Yeah. What did I just piss off?
Jeez.
And it's not just like a reflection from your lights. Like, you flash your lights 5 times and stop, and there's red eyes looking back at you. There's glowing things looking back at you, and I don't know if something absorbed our light and is showing it back, or if someone's sitting in there going ting 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 ting. No, this is something I can't explain. It's something I wasn't about to go investigate.
Yeah, were they up high?
So they sat over the gravestones, usually. It's almost like someone's like got their arms and they're resting and watching you. That's how I felt. But I wasn't brave enough. Even being a soldier in the Air Force, I wasn't brave enough to go in there. We did a thing called Donkey Lady Bridge. We went to the abandoned insane asylum. It's like 3 buildings. It's like a little 1-story building. I'll say it's 1 story. It's like 2 because there's a basement. There's a 2-story building and there's a 3-story building behind it. By the way, don't go there if you're not careful because they will arrest you for trespassing. There's double fences for a reason, but we went in there when we weren't supposed to, and I didn't feel anything, whereas I know other people have, but it's still super creepy to walk around because there's still charts laying around, there's gurneys there, there's tools there, there's holes in the floor.
They just up and left everything?
I think it eventually got abandoned. They left behind what wasn't important.
Yeah. Loma Linda Hospital in LA was like that. People walked in there after they cleared out the hospital. There was still blood.
Oh wow!
Basically, and still in its packaging, sitting in the freezers. Even though the freezers weren't on, there was paperwork everywhere. There was all kinds of stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how this place is. There's no blood, but like I said, you walk through and you'll like see a wrecked out gurney. You'll see charts, tons of graffiti, tons of graffiti. And since there's no power, you've got to use a flashlight. And if you're not careful, there's holes in the floor, you will fall through to the basement. So be super careful going through there. But it was still exhilarating to go through because it's like, who is here? Even if it's no one we knew, it's still the fact of people were here. This place was used. This isn't like some scene from a movie. Like this is real life craziness and all that crazy power in one location, and some people do feel things. I didn't feel anything, but I'm not sensitive. We've got, the railroad tracks. The tracks. Let me tell you about the tracks.
Okay.
So we went out and I've been told about the San Antonio ghost tracks for years. And if you're from San Antonio or even around the area, you go on Halloween and there's the road. So you've got the tracks, you've got the road, and there's that 90-degree turn right as you go over the road. Both ways, it's lined up 30 cars deep on Halloween, easily.
Wow.
And people wait for hours to do the ghost tracks.
What's the lore?
So the lore is, there was a bus full of children back in, I guess, the 30s or 50s or something. They got hit by a train. And so the kids don't want anyone to get stuck on the tracks. So you go and you turn off your car, put it in neutral, and you let off the brake. And you coast up to the tracks. And the tracks are good uphill slope. I mean, it's not like even level with the ground. It's uphill and then downhill. But you have no power steering, no nothing. And you gain momentum as you go, and you get pushed over by the little kids who don't want to see another vehicle get stalled on the tracks, trying to protect other people and be good servants in the afterlife or whatever. So I've done this 40, 50 times, and it's exciting every time. Even now, it's still super exciting to do.
Did you guys ever, sorry to interrupt you, did you guys ever put baby powder, clean the back window, put the baby powder on the back? Because sometimes people will find fingerprints.
Yes, we were told to do that. We were told you would see the fingerprints with baby powder. So I went one day, I had a Ford Explorer Sport, and I went and washed my car and dried it off, and we went over and we baby powdered everything. And we did it. And we're going, and we get pushed over. You feel the momentum. Like you're right there, and whoosh. It's weird. It's powerful. And you get over, and you make that turn, and you're pulling because you have no power steering, and you go, and all of a sudden we stop. And I've got my video camera. I've still got a video camera somewhere. Like, you can see in my video how excited I am when I looked at the back of my Explorer, and there's like 3 prints here, and 2 prints here, and like 5 prints here. And I'm like, oh my God, you can see the fingerprints. They're really there. They're really there. Only to find out that I had a windshield wiper on my back window and didn't properly dry it off, and water had dripped down as I went over. And I didn't think about that until later when there was a TV show out there that debunked the San Antonio Railroad tracks. I hate to ruin this for all y'all, I really do. But they found out it's like a 3-degree or 5-degree downhill slope. Even though the way the terrain is laid, it looks like it's uphill. It's really not. That's why you gain momentum when you put your car
Because you're really going downhill?
You are going downhill.
Oh, man. That
It
is
broke my heart,
upsetting
dude.
for
No,
so many
no,
people. We're
it-
sorry.
Yeah.
Broke my heart. But you can still go out there and it's still fun to do. And you'll find like-minded people. People who still believe. And that's what this is all about. This is all about believing.
Right.
You know, I mean, we wouldn't have UFOs, Bigfoots, Yetis, Slender Man, Shadow Man, whatever, if people didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can go out there every day of the week, I put my life on it. You can go out there any day of the week in San Antonio and see at least one car doing the tracks. And on Halloween, 80, 90, 150 cars a night doing the tracks. Because
That's
it's
awesome.
the legend has superseded what anyone has ever thought it would. I mean, it's amazing. San Antonio, super haunted. Wolford Hall. So I was stationed at Wolford Hall for 5.5 years. Did 2 deployments out of there, and it's been around since 1940. I want to say 2 or 7. I can't remember at the moment, but it's been around forever.
Is it a bunkhouse or is it a
It's a
big
hospital.
hall? Oh, it's a hospital.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Wolford Hall Medical Center is it was the flagship of the Air Force for the
Okay.
longest time. It was one of the few level 1 trauma centers in San Antonio when I was there, and where I worked, where I did surgery at. But at one point, they decided to do renovations for it before they decided to, I guess, demolish it, which now they even abandoned that, I think. They decided to renovate a couple areas. They were renovating the 7th floor, and there's a little girl, I never saw her, but there's a little girl supposedly that rides the elevator to the 7th floor that a few people have seen. The story I heard when I was there was there was a group of guys working on the 7th floor, and the only way to access the 7th floor at the time was through scaffolding, because they didn't want people being up and down in it. And they were up there working and saw a gentleman walking with an IV pole and figured he must be lost. So they tried to stop him, and he went around the corner with his IV pole, the little man in a gown, and when they chased him down, there's no one there.
He just disappeared.
Disappeared. So that's the 2 stories I've heard that I haven't been able to, I guess, fully prove myself. But the one experience, or main experience, I had a couple experiences there. The one experience that I really remember having from Wolford Hall, me and my buddy CJ, I'll leave it as that. He knows who he is. We had just gone from day shift to night shift, and we've been on night shift a couple of weeks. And he's like, hey, let's go down to where the L&D waiting room is and get a couple Cokes from the Coke machine. So we wandered down, and we go and pay our $1, get our Coke, and we see there's plastic sheeting on the double doors leading into another hallway. And we're like, wonder what they're doing there. We're nosy, there's no surgeries going on, everyone's just watching TV. We're like, let's explore it, let's check it out. So we poke through, and you see another hallway. All right, we go in, cool, no big deal. We see a hallway up to the left, plastic sheeting. So we open it up, and you see basically a nurse's central hub. So like a central hub will have a desk here, desk here, desk here, desk here, with walkways in a shape of a T.
Okay.
So you can go where you need to go. And over here past this, there's another sheeting. So we're going through, it's probably about 1 a.m. We go through and we open it up. Mind you, we're used to being on day shift. So the hustle and bustle of day shift life is what we've become normalized to. We open the door and you hear people talking, you hear babies crying, you hear TVs going, everything. And he realizes before I do that we're hearing this stuff and there's no one here. So these disembodied voices that we're experiencing are not really there. And I turn around when I finally realize it, and he's gone. This fool left me.
He ran.
Like, and I
He
get
ran.
it. I get it. He's, skinnier, faster, better shape than I am, whatever. But I was all alone. And when I realized I was all alone and hearing these voices, I ran too. As soon as the door closed, the voices stopped. You couldn't hear the TV anymore. You couldn't hear the babies crying. You couldn't hear the people talking. But they were all there when we had those doors open. And I want to find him. Like, I'm going to post this on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, CJ, do you remember this? Just so I can get him to be like, dude, I remember when that happened. Like, that's all I want.
Yeah,
That's all
some
I want.
what's that word? Corroboration?
Yeah,
There it is.
collaboration, yeah.
Collaborate what happened.
Yes.
Because I don't have a lot of stories like that. Like, I don't have as many stories as y'all do. I haven't done as many serious hunts. I don't have the equipment y'all do.
Yeah.
So having these experiences myself are all I have to base my drive for searching this, for experiencing this, for looking for these things, these cryptids, I guess, as you were.
Mm-hmm.
That's what drives me, is because I've had some myself, and I know not everyone believes in these things. Until I started investigating myself, I didn't believe in Bigfoot. I saw Matt's collection on his wall, and I heard him talk about it, and I was like, all right, dude wants to believe it, let dude believe it. And then I started watching, and I saw more videos, and I saw more people, and I'm like, and Matt told me, he goes, I don't expect you to believe it.
Right.
You have to experience it yourself. And I was like, all right, dude, dude's cool about me being skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
And I started seeing more and more things. I'm like, oh shit, like people really, this is serious. This is out there. Because these people that I've seen aren't looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, then there might be something out there. Maybe Matt's got something going on. So this is what drives me. And this is why I can appreciate doing this and being part of this group. And wanting to keep going and wanting to investigate hotels and jails and bridges and whatever, So that's a little bit about me and what I've experienced and my love for what we do and what goes on.
Well, awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to talk with you, Eric.
Yes,
We'll
thank
probably
you
have
for
on
coming in.
the future.
Thank God for having me.
Yeah, and we'll probably have you on in the future sometime.
Definitely.
But we appreciate you sharing your experiences and what got you to the point of joining the team and stuff. So Eric will be on probably at another time sometime in the future. We want to thank you guys for your support and your love. And thank you for joining us tonight. And we'll talk to you guys again soon on the next podcast.
Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.